how to start a six-figure marketing agency step by step. So in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know from all the way from A to Z into building that six-figure marketing agency that you always marketing agency. So anyone who needs coaching, join my coaching program down below and I will show you how. So you may be thinking, how do I start this marketing agency? All you need is a phone, laptop, YouTube, and Instagram to get your leads, because these are the main sources of income that you're going to get. Instagram is your first layer of your funnel, YouTube's your second, and once you get people onto YouTube, they just start printing you cash. You may be thinking, it seems so simple, but then why are there so many failed agencies? Because they don't know how to monetize properly. They don't know how to sell. They don't know how to do anything. Massive agencies telling me this, because I've been there. I've done that. I've made all the mistakes. I understand what it is. I've at least paid higher tickets. So yeah, you got either 5 clients at 3K each. You should at least have 4 clients for about 5K at the moment, not 45K. 4 clients for about 5K at the moment. That would be the ideal goal. And that's when we start to use the Facebook funnel. That's when you start creating more and more long form content. That's when you have ads that run for about 2 to 3 minutes. That's when you have content that targets one specific business owner. Then you start to spread it out more and more and more. Like sicker marketers who are trying to tell you that they know everything in the world. They can get your business to making 100K a month in no time whatsoever. This has been the secret that they've been keeping from you from all these years. They just want your money. They just want your profits. But I've produced XYZ result. I can show you this. I've worked with 100 different businesses in 150 different niches. This is the perfect funnel that we have made that prints money no matter what business model you're in. We can craft it for you and then we can just keep going more and more and more. Obviously, you're not going to get the full in-depth on YouTube. Click the link below, sign up to my actual coaching program, and then I can show you how to actually do this properly. So you start creating a funnel. You start to get more and more content in. So then you use Facebook. Then you have a direct response through your ads, but also you get an idea of your audience. This is when you do basically Facebook ads, then you go to retargeting. Then you go to direct response, then you go to retargeting, then you go to newsletter, then you go to finally sold. That's how that works. So once you keep on doing that more and more and more, you should be at to around about 50K a month. So then you should be charging your clients at the absolute least, about 8K. At the absolute least, about 8K. Reason why I say this, because you're getting more and more authority, you're getting better positioned, and then we can slowly start to build up the machine to run from there. This is when I would recommend you pay more attention to your newsletter, because your newsletter is an attention goldmine, as well as start getting more into your paid ads, because your paid ads is literally a multiplier on everything that you're doing. Your paid ads is a fucking multiplier. Newsletter is amazing for warming leads up, so going from cold to warm. And that's when you also start to producing more and more content on YouTube, as well as start having more days of your life, start having more and more fancy stuff. Let's just say you have a car in Marbella, or maybe you want to go to like Dubai for a weekend. Yeah, so that's when you start showing more and more of your lifestyle through IG, start getting more and more eyeballs on you. Because then you can start putting people back into the funnel. So you put them back into the funnel. So that's when you go IG, that's when you go through paid ads to IG, to your personal brand, to your YouTube, to your either Calendly link or your landing page, to either direct to book cool, or if they're still in the fence, they go to your landing page. But also that's where I recommend you put your that and that to go to there. Or that's when I'd recommend putting your paid ads direct to landing page. But normally if your leads are colder, that will tend to go to your Instagram. So then that's when they go to your Instagram, or they see your lifestyle, they see what you do. That's also why your personal brand is very, very important. That's also why they'll end up going to YouTube, because YouTube is more authority. YouTube is more and more authority, which leads them to your landing page. If they're still cold, if they're still slightly colder, or if they're warmer, they will go straight to your calendar. And that's when we keep on repeating the cycle. But also, once we have these two, then you go to newsletter to warm them up even more, and then you put them back into calendar. And then they go to book a call. But obviously, you can't just do this stuff straight off the bat, because you don't understand how to actually produce good ads. You got to understand how to actually understand the framework, which is what I'll show you in my coaching program down below. So book a call. I'll show you how to do this. This is my step-by-step framework on how to build a marketing agency all the way to 6 figures. Because the reason why I say this, once you get this cycle on repeat, This will also start bringing you cash, like a shit ton of cash. This is also when I change up my model slightly into a 7-figure model from a 6-figure. 7-figure, the 6-figure is slightly different. But hey, I guess you got to wait up. I guess you got to wait out and see what I actually do. And I'll give you more and more detail once I actually hit that 7 figures. And I will show you on how to actually do that. So if you want to book a call, I will help you with growing your marketing agency down below. So book a call. Or, I'm trying to think. I've probably paid about 200 grand worth of mistakes. Honestly, maybe even more. But so your first source of income, your first source of leads will be through IG. So you just post normal content. You try and get people's eyeballs on you. You try and get people who want to actually see you, because you need to get people to see you before they even like you or dislike you. Both is the win. And then from there, you link your Instagram into your YouTube. Then you start getting people to follow you from there. So that's why I said you need a laptop. So then you can start to post and edit, because CapCut and is my personal recommendation for when you start off. I would recommend only doing all the editing yourself, unless you're either already a very, very advanced video editor, like later on, or once you're trying to just get more and more people in the budget. But literally start off with, you have to do everything yourself. That's just the joys of running a business. You're a one-man army. So you pretty much deal with the sales, you deal with the lead generation, and you deal with the content. And also the editing. That's when we start to separate them. That's an E. So then that's when we start to separate them later on, so then you can focus on the two things that you're good at, as well as your service. Do the content as well as the service. These are your two main frameworks. Editing is part of the service, but editing is part of the service, but also it is very, very time consuming, and is probably the lowest return on your investment, especially when you're running a marketing agency, because you're better off either A, doing content, or B, doing copy and your customers' ads, because your words can be worth over $100,000 if you know how to put them in a succinct way that make you sound like a professional, or if you know how to polarize the audience into doing what you want and into control, giving them portions of your reality. If you want any help with starting your marketing agency, book a call down below and I can help you out. So then we go from here. So I recommend you create a YouTube channel, and then you create your first bit of content. You create your first bit of content by having like a camera. I would personally recommend it using this thing. No matter how good or bad it is, at least you're putting something out there. At least you can then get eyeballs out to you. People are paying attention to you. Like literally, people are watching you. People will buy from you if they like you enough. You're not just a content creator who is there just for entertainment. You're there to sell a product, sell a service. So this is my personal recommendation, is you start YouTube, because YouTube's a long form game. You need YouTube to make everything easier later on. So once we get your content right, then we can start to build everything else. Once you start creating your first YouTube video, then you go into editing it, and you just edit your first video, upload that. And if you can, I would recommend that you take some shorts or reels out of that, short form content, because it also makes people easier, so then they can get eyeballs onto you. So eyeballs, so literally it's eyeballs into, some short form content into eyeballs into IG. Then people from IG who trust you go to YouTube, because then you're posting your reels, your content from there. It's pretty simple funnel, isn't it? So once you do that, that's just a personal recommendation. You also need to put in your Instagram bio what you do. So that's your Instagram bio, what you do, and pretty much what your goal is to achieve by X result. That's when you also get them onto a sales call, because it also adds more authority to your character. Authority is the thing that you need. Authority is the number one thing that you need. Because why would they buy from someone who hasn't done it before? Why would they buy from a broke bum in the middle of nowhere? Exactly. Because then from there, let's just say, I'm helping you. You can say, hey, let's just say in your bio, you say, like, given that you're running your own agency, you can say that, specialize in X area, growing a social media marketing agency 0 to 10K within X amount of time. And then you'll end up putting your proper time, like, let's just say, growing to 0 to 10K, striving for more. And then you put DM me SMMA if you're interested, because then you can leverage off your personal brand, because personal brand and your YouTube are both correlated together. So that's why you use your bio. And also make sure you have your link in bio towards your YouTube. So then from there, once you have your YouTube, once you keep on recording more content, once you start filming more and more and more, you will then get people interested on you. And then from there, you should have Calendly because you need that. You seriously need that. And you should have Zoom. So then you can start to get more and more clients because you can't have one without the other. And I know you may be thinking, this is more stuff I've got to pay for. This is more expenses. Trust me, it's all worth it because you can't close your clients unless you can actually have a sales call with them, or unless you just go, hey, and they're already like super, super warm and they're ready to buy, just be like, hey, I want to send you the money. Just let them just send you the money. And then you can start working on them. So then what I would recommend is also getting ConverterKit, as well as I would recommend getting ChatGPT, because ChatGPT will help you start to get better at your copy, but also it will analyze your copy and be like, okay, this is where you're not flowing as good. This is where you need to improve. And this is where you need to go from X, Y, and Z. So for anyone who needs help with growing your social media marketing agency, book a call down below and I will show you the framework and how to actually acquire this skill so you can print money for the rest of your life. So you use ConverterKit and also you use ChatGPT. ChatGPT just helps you with your copy, helps you make your ads more succinct, more precise, and more to the point. Because why would someone want to buy from someone who writes shit ads? Because we're doing this at the stage where you have your first client. Because that's why I said Calendly, LinkedIn. So then you just continue with this cycle. This cycle is on repeat. Oh, not this one. This cycle is on repeat. Obviously, as I said, if anyone needs some help with growing their social media marketing agency, book a call down below. I will show you how. But yeah, so we use this part because it's infinite, because then you can get eyeballs. Once people are on your IG, you can then build up more and more trust by being active and paying, like people know who you are. Then you go to YouTube. YouTube gets them warmed up, starts to get them like in. Then it goes to sales calls from YouTube. Then you start to actually work with your client. Then you start to produce ads and start printing. You obviously got to edit your work, which is why I'd recommend getting a video editor because it saves a lot of time. This is where you can start to focus more on content, more on your ads, and getting more and more customers, because you need one thing to fuel the other. And also another recommendation is only pay yourself about 10 to 15% of the profit when you start off with, because everything else should be put straight into the machine, straight into ads, straight into getting more and more customers, and then just make it into a never ending printing machine. So Calendly plus Zoom equals sales calls, plus you also get an idea of what you're actually doing. So once you have those sales calls sorted, and also remember this, you're charging your clients about $5,000 per contract that you're giving them, 5,000 USD per contract. You can go a little bit less, you can go a little bit more, but that is the easiest way. But also, a lot of beginners start off with 3,000 just because they're like, I'm new to this marketing stuff. I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. I don't know how I'm meant to do this. I need to, get more experience, which is understandable. You can start off with 3,000. 5,000 if you have balls, or go 4,000 if you're still like, I still want like a bit more work. I still want, But 5 to 3,000 USD is usually the safest spot to start off with, just because you will be putting about 10% of that into their ads. So once you start creating their ads, you actually have people in your email funnel who booked a call from here, from Zoom and Calendly. Then you start to create a newsletter, which actually starts to convert them. Newsletter, which actually slowly starts to convert people and starts to warm up your leads. You also put it through ChatGPT to make it flow better. But then you have to edit it again, and it's pretty much a never-ending cycle of making your copy as precise as possible, so then you can start to get more and more people to pay attention to you. Because no one's going to buy from a nobody who nobody else knows. You've got to realize that. Okay, so you got your first client. You may be thinking, okay, I got my first client. What am I meant to do? So once you got your first client, you're meant to write them copy of their niche, in their niche. What offer do they have? Like we've already explained the basics of creating an offer in the previous videos. What results are they trying to get? And what guarantee do they provide? Because when you're crafting your customer's copy, you need to make them have a guarantee so good that people feel dumb saying no to, because no one's going to buy from a nobody. And also because you remember, if you watched the previous video, and also if you need more help and if you need any assistance in growing your social media marketing agency, book a call down below. I will show you the way, and I will show you how to get the most profitable skill out there. So you offer your client a guarantee. So you say you will get them X result within Y period of time through X way. So yeah, so that's what you do. You have their offer, you recraft their offer, but still make it similar enough to fit what they're doing. Or if they already have a good offer, then you just start doing lead generation through social medias. So through Facebook, through TikTok for some of them. I would not recommend that for all of them. Through Instagram, and I would highly recommend also doing it through YouTube, and use YouTube as your main source of funnel, especially if it's in a high ticket industry. Which, if you actually ended up acquiring the right client who's in the high ticket industry, you will end up having more of an ad budget, having more money to play with, and having take home a bigger cut of the profit. So once you do that, you do that, you get results. Then I would recommend you do a VSL. So you can either do this through either A, through YouTube, or B, through running your own landing page. But the video comes from YouTube. So then you link them intertwine. You would end up getting access to someone who can actually start up your landing page and get people through. Because then once people search up your name, it's going to have a landing page with you. It's going to then get them to be able to convert easier. Because with that landing page, you're warming up your customer. You're answering every single question that they have. You're getting them to feel more and more comfortable with what product you are selling, and you are literally trying to minimize the risk for them as much as possible. So then you can start to use your landing page to get YouTube. And then once they go to your landing page, they either convert to a sale, they convert to a email list, or they convert into a follower, or they just don't buy, But remember, you've warmed them up. So then they're more than likely here, here, or here. And then we just bring them up. We just bring them up the tree because they're interested in what you do. They've already provided some interest in what service you provide. So that's when this is going to start to help you out more and more and more. So once you have that result, you then create a VSL. But also another way, once you have that result, you start creating more and more YouTube videos to filter into the funnel. And also with that result, you also put that VSL and that result on your Instagram as well as on your YouTube shorts, because then you get more eyeballs on you and you have more quality of work. Once you have more and more quality of work, you can then feed people back into YouTube, and then here we go again. So by having access to this framework, then you start to build up to maybe 15K a month. And with the more and more content that you produce, the more and more leads and the more and more results you're actually going to get. If you need any help with starting your social media marketing agency, book a call down below. I will show you the blueprint and the framework I have used to grow my agency. It is the best agency on the planet. I am also the best marketer on the planet. Forget Sabri Suru, forget Brez Scales, forget Iman Ghazi. I'm only 20. I am so much better than these guys. My work, and obviously as you can see the framework, is so much better. And I have such a better understanding of what I'm doing compared to them. I am the best marketer out on the planet. And I will show you through me coaching you on how to do it the most effective way. Save all the mistakes, save every single drama that I had to face. So then you start to go up to 15K a month. You're thinking, okay, we're at 15K a month. How can we get to 25K a month? Some of you might be happy at 15K a month. That's when I step back. That's when you'll be happy there. I've done my job with helping you grow that I've helped you grow that agency. Then you can just run it the way you want to run it. Just keep on using the systems that I've provided you. Or then once you want to go up to 25K a month, I can also help you with that. All the way up to over 100K a month. I know. I'm trying to get my agency up to like 250K a month. But yeah, once we get up to 25K a month, this is when your systems have to slightly change. I would recommend you start running more ads because you need more people to pay more eyeballs to you. People need to know who you are. This is also when I would recommend, here is also when I'd recommend getting a video editor, just because it can save you more time and then you can start living that freedom lifestyle that you would get. Between 10 to 15K a month, get a video editor, makes your life a bunch easier. You don't have to be running all the ads, copy, and running your business flat out. And you take about 90% of the profits too, or 80% of the profit. So once you're at 15K a month, I would then recommend you go to 25K a month. That's when I'd recommend you run ads, because then you have more eyeballs on you. You also need to create yourself a more polarizing figure. So once you make that 15K a month, you then move into the identity of someone who makes 25K a month. You need to have that more polarizing figure of, okay, I'm top shit. I can then produce 25K a month in my fucking sleep. This is fucking easy. It's just light work. I can do this like easy. It's like fucking repping out weights at the gym. It's not even that bad. It's only 25 G's a month. It's not even fucking real. That's like fucking, I can spend half that on like a fucking good dinner. I spend 15K on a fucking weekend. So I can fucking blow through that in no time. So that's when you start putting 10% of your budget towards your ads. And you may be thinking, why am I starting to allocate more and more? Because you get more and more responsibilities and you get more and more customers. But also once you're at the 25K a month, you understand your client acquisition cost or your CAC, which is one of the most important things. That's why I said start doing ads. And you keep on using that same similar system. So you do YouTube, you keep on doing YouTube, you keep on showing results, you keep on showing them more and more new information. You've got to be treating it like a TV show. Same person, same like identity that people see you as, and then you start producing more and more videos. So with YouTube, then you move to, so they can either jump on to your landing page or they can book a call directly through YouTube. So they have YouTube, but you also still have Instagram and YouTube Shorts as your main and two sources to get eyeballs. But also that's when you also have your personal brand as well as another important figure. And that's why you start to monetize off of it, because people know you for marketing. People know you for being extra, let's just say for being a funny, bold man who likes to create controversy on the internet, who people ride or die from you and they want to buy you shit. So that's why you have your personal brand. That's on Instagram. So these two are practically intertwined. That Instagram is also the exact same content on YouTube, which links to your YouTube, and then you go from there. Then once you start running paid ads on IG and paid ads on Facebook. Just because with Facebook, you get a bit more mature audience. Also, the advantage of one of the things that I love Facebook, everyone and their grandma knows what Facebook is. Meta ads, yes, that's also a thing that you need to know for your Instagram ads, but Facebook is similar to LinkedIn. You get a more mature, you get more businesses, especially like the older businesses. So let's just say there's a business that's running about 250K a month. He's more than likely on a very small group on Facebook. So you've got to slowly build your way into the funnel. So you start to build your way into the Facebook funnel and slowly start to target ads more and more and more. But as I mentioned earlier, this is the importance of learning how to sell to one person through your ads, through your content, and knowing how to say, how to persuade, and how to beat. Because no one's going to buy from you if you don't know what you're doing. No one's going to buy from you if you're just a fucking nobody. No one will buy from you no matter what you do. But people need to know who you are, professional. That's why I said just fucking start sharing all those case studies. So literally going back to results. Once you start getting more and more results, you can start showing them and start having more and more appear on your ads. You can start to redo your VSL. You can start to update your website and update your landing page, so then you can start to get more and more people. So then you have more and more of that professional tone, because results are important, because then you start to add more guarantees, and then you can start charging more and more. Now you've got the full blueprint. It means nothing if your mindset is terrible. So make sure you watch the video on your screen next.